Hello, this is Mr. Knowles, and this instructional video focuses on comparing fractions using a labeled sketch. So there's an example here on the screen, and what you'll need probably are some colored pencils and a regular pencil, and you'll also need graph paper. And just follow along and you'll be able to do the problems with me. So let's get started. Number one, we're going to compare 3/8 with half. And one thing you really want to be aware of in the very beginning is to look at the denominator, the bottom number of the fraction, and see if they're the same or if they're different. And in this example, they're different. Before we can compare them, we have to have fractions with the same denominator, the same bottom number. If you start out with two fractions that do not have the same denominator, you have to make something called equivalent fractions, which are just fractions that mean the same thing, and then compare them. So I'm going to start with this 3/8. And I'm going to look at the other one and I'm going to see that it's 1/2. And I want to make two fractions where the denominators are the same that also mean 3/8 and 1/2. Well, I do know that 2 will go into 8, so I could change 1/2 into something in eighths. And I'll show you what I mean. I have a fraction already that's 3/8. So this is going to be 3/8. I have to break it up into eighths. So the whole thing is made of 8 equal pieces, and I'm interested in 3 of them. That's what 3/8 means. So that's 3/8. And down below, I'll make another rectangle, and what's important in fractions, visually as well as the fractions themselves, is that the size of the rectangle, the number of pieces that make up the whole thing, that they're equal before you can really compare them. So I have another rectangle here, and I want to fill in half of it. Well, half of it would look like this. Excuse me. Another way to say half in eighths is 4/8. And now it's just a matter of which rectangle has more in it, more eggs or more circles or more shaded in. Well, 1/2 does. It's actually has 1/8 more than the 3/8. So it's larger. So I'm going to use this symbol here. So 3/8 is less than 1/2. Let's try another one. I have 1/4, and I'm going to compare that to 2/8. Alright, so again, look at the bottom number. They're not the same, so we have to make some rectangles that are the same size. Let's see. I'm going to start out with 2/8 first. So I have a rectangle made out of 8 pieces, and I'm going to draw 2/8. So 2/8 would look like this. And then down below, I know that I can take 1/4 and represent that fraction in a rectangle made of 8 pieces. So there's the 8 pieces, and I'm going to cut them into 4 equal parts. This is going to be 1/4. And then I'm going to color in one of the 4. And 1/4 looks like it equals 2/8. They're the same size. They're worth the same amount. So in this case, they're equal to each other. Let's look at another one. 1/2 and 3/16. Okay, this one's going to be a little trickier. The 16ths is very different than half, but I know I could represent half in 16ths. So I need to make a rectangle that's made of 16 pieces. And you might think that's going to be big, and it might, but I'm actually going to use a 4x4 square. I'm going to break that up into 16 pieces. Whoop, that's not a 4x4 square, it's a 3x3 square. Let's try that again. Glad you guys caught me on that. Let's try that again. So a 4x4 square. There's a 4x4 square, I believe. And then 16 equal pieces. I'm going to label this 3/16, and 3 of them would be colored in, or you could do these circles. Alright, have to raise this up a little bit. So that's 3/16. Well, down below, I have to draw another one for half to compare them. This is going to be half. Write it over here. And I'd literally just cut it in half. One half is equal to 8/16. This is the same as 8/16. Well, which one's got more circles in it, or which one's shaded in more? 3/16 or half, which is equivalent to 8/16. Well, half is. So half is larger. So we would write this symbol. Half is greater than 3/16. Number 4, last one, then you're going to do a couple on your own. 2/4 and half. Well, there's the 4 and there's the 2. And I'm going to build a rectangle that is made of 4 pieces. Like that. And I want to show 2/4. So I need to shade in 2 of those 4. 1, 2. I'm going to build another rectangle, same size. And this one's going to be half. So I'm going to cut that in half and shade 2 of those squares in, or 2 circles, because I need to shade in 1 of the 2. That's what half means. So 1/2 is the same as 2/4. Well, I think I just answered my own question. They're exactly the same. They're equal to each other. So, equal sign. I have 4 problems that I'd like you to do on your own on your graph paper. Make sure that you're using labeled sketches like what I did for the first 4 problems. So now would be a good time to pause this video so you can see these 4 problems and try to work them out. And then you can turn that into me when you get this done. If you have any questions or if you're still struggling, please ask. I'll be more than willing to help you out. Have a good day.